You are 7. The priest grabs your hand. Your parents stay behind. The crowd cheers. You now belong to the goddess Vesta and the Roman government, chosen child of Rome's sacred flame. Today, your parents march you into the forum. They tell you it is an honor. That is never a calm sentence in Rome. The Pontifex Maximus stands there in full priest gear. He controls the sacred calendar. He oversees major rituals. Today, he is shopping for a child. The next Vestal virgin must be chosen. What could go wrong? The rules are strict. You must be a freeborn girl. Both parents must be alive. No slavery in your family line. No visible defects. No scandal stuck to the household name. In short, you are state approved. You stand in a cluster of other girls between 6 and 10 years old. 20 families were summoned. Everyone pretends to smile. No one looks relaxed. The priest inspects each of you with the focus of someone checking sacrificial animals. He is not choosing a personality. He is choosing a body for a goddess. Sometimes he picks one girl directly. Sometimes names are drawn by lot. Today he calls yours. Your mother's face freezes. Your father steps forward. Because the law says he must let you go. There is a formal act called captio. The Pontifex Maximus takes your hand and declares that he is taking you from your father in the name of Vesta. That sentence cuts your legal ties to your household. You are no longer under your father's authority. You now belong to the goddess and to Rome. You know a few basic facts. Service lasts 30 years. 10 years to learn. 10 years to perform the rituals. 10 years to teach. After that, in theory, you are free. Rome loves long paperwork. You walk away between guards and attendants. Behind you, your parents stay in the crowd like ordinary citizens at any show. Ahead of you rises the Temple of Vesta. Round. Sacred. Off limits to almost everyone. Training under sacred rule. Your new life starts fast. No settling in. No warm welcome basket. The older Vestals hand you a schedule, a new hairstyle, and a long list of things you must never do. You are now a novice, and Rome expects results. The first 10 years are all training. 10 years. Most Roman girls your age learn weaving and how to run a household. You learn ritual formulas that must never have a wrong word. A single mistake can force the entire ceremony to restart. If that happens during a major state rite, everyone glares at you like you caused a drought. You memorize prayers tied to specific days on the official calendar. The calendar is controlled by the same man who took you from your family, the Pontifex Maximus. He visits often. You speak to him with respect. He holds the power to punish Vestals. No pressure. You learn how to prepare mola salsa. It is a sacred salted flour mix used in many state sacrifices. It is not a snack. It is a vital part of the ritual. When priests sprinkle it on the animal, the gods are watching. If you mess up the preparation, the ritual loses its purity. Rome panics when purity drops. Discipline is strict. Errors bring correction, not a gentle talk, actual punishment. Beatings took place in secret to avoid public scandal. Rome loves order, not drama. You learn fast. You study omens, birds, thunder, odd events. You learn which signs demand rituals. You are a child, reading cosmic warnings. Fun. Older Vestals teach you the hairstyle of the order, called the sine crines. It copies the style worn by Roman brides. Rome likes symbolic messages. You are married to Vesta. The vow of chastity is not a joke. Breaking it is treated as a threat to the state. You sleep in the Atrium Vestae, surrounded by stone walls, rules, and constant supervision. Your childhood ends here. Guarding Rome's eternal fire. 10 years pass. You are no longer the nervous child who mixed salt and flour with shaking hands. You are now a full Vestal. Rome expects you to keep its heart burning. Literally. The sacred fire in the Temple of Vesta is not decorative. Romans believe it represents the life of the city. If it goes out, they fear famine, invasion, or divine rage. No pressure for a 20-year-old with a broom and a torch. Your shift schedule runs day and night. Vestals rotate duty, which means you stare at fire when everyone else sleeps. You add wood from specific trees. You tend the flame with careful movements, no sparks in the wrong place. The temple is made of wood and marble. One accident and you become the star of a very short news update. You clean the inner shrine. Ordinary Romans cannot enter. Even most priests stay outside. Only Vestals and the Pontifex Maximus have access. Inside sits sacred storage, including ritual tools and state treasures. Some Romans believe the Palladium, a sacred statue linked to the safety of the city, is kept here. You never confirm or deny anything. Secrets raise status. You prepare the sacred fire each morning. You sweep ashes and collect them for special rituals. People use them in purification ceremonies. Rome loves symbolic dirt. During the Vestalia festival in June, your workload explodes. For several days, the city floods the forum. Bakers bring offerings. Mothers ask for blessings. The temple opens its doors to women only. You manage crowds, supervise offerings, and endure questions about fertility that you are legally not involved in. After the festival, the temple is closed for cleaning and purification. You help with that too. You scrub, sweep, and redo ritual steps until every surface meets divine standards. Rome trusts you to maintain cosmic hygiene. Letting the flame die is the worst failure. If it happens, an inquiry follows. The Pontifex Maximus demands answers. Punishment is likely. People look at you like you personally invited disaster. The last time the fire went out, records blamed a Vestal for negligence. She faced a private beating. Rome enjoys private cruelty. Stepping out before all Rome. You finally leave the temple walls, and Rome reacts like a celebrity just stepped into the street. You ride in a covered carriage called a carpentum. It has 2 horses and the legal right to push traffic aside. Even consuls move out of your way. Your escorts clear paths during public events. You do not walk like an ordinary woman. You glide with guards, attendants, and a state-approved aura that says, "Touch me and the gods take notes." The law protects you fiercely. Anyone harming a Vestal faces death. Rome treats your safety as national security. Public ceremonies become your calendar. Triumphs, oaths, treaties, wills, elections, and major sacrifices all demand a Vestal presence. You are a living guarantee that the gods approve. When generals celebrate victories, you sit in honored seats near senators and top magistrates. People cheer the warrior, but they glance at you to check if the victory feels legitimate. You also witness legal documents. When someone signs a major will, a Vestal may attend. Your presence signals honesty. Romans assume you cannot lie because you serve Vesta. This is hilarious, since politics never runs on truth. One strange power sets you apart. If you meet a condemned prisoner by chance while he is being led to execution, he can be pardoned. The rule states that the encounter must be accidental. You cannot stage a rescue mission. Still, people watch streets carefully, hoping their friend accidentally crosses your path. Judges hate this loophole. Crowds love you at the games. You sit in a special box with a clear view. Gladiators sometimes salute you. Some spectators act like your gaze can bless their bets. Rome mixes religion and gambling with no shame. You attend sacred processions. You carry ritual items, chant formulas, and maintain a serious face while half the city treats it like a parade. Failure to appear signals bad omens. If you look ill or upset, rumors spread fast. The Vestals look worried, can spark panic faster than a grain shortage. Life inside the Vestal residence. You do not return to a cozy family home. You now live in the Atrium Vestae, a large state-funded residence behind the temple. It sits in the Roman Forum, right next to senators arguing about taxes and generals bragging about wars. Your neighbors are loud, powerful, and usually armed. The house itself is impressive. 3 stories, a central courtyard with a pool called the impluvium, marble floors in places, storage rooms full of grain, oil, and ritual supplies. Statues of former Vestals line the courtyard. They stare at you every morning like a silent reminder that retirement is possible if you avoid scandals. You share the space with 5 other Vestals. Each has a private room. Privacy is limited. Doors stay open often because supervisors and servants move through the building. You never truly relax. Someone always watches, listens, or reports. Rome does not trust holy women without oversight. Meals are simple but steady. Bread, olives, cheese, fruit, and whatever the kitchen slaves prepare. You eat together at regular times. No lounging with snacks. Rules even control chewing. Talking during meals is allowed, but gossip can become dangerous. Rumors spread fast in a city where trials can start from one careless comment. Servants handle cooking, cleaning, laundry, and carrying supplies. You still manage the household budget. Vestals control property linked to the residence. You track spending, repair costs, and food stores. It feels like running a small business with divine branding. Your daily routine includes weaving ceremonial cloth. Rome expects holy women to work with wool. You produce items used in rituals and repairs for temple garments. It sounds peaceful. It becomes boring after the 100th hour. Nobody cares. The work continues. Nights are quiet. Guards stand outside. You hear distant noise from taverns and forums. Inside, the halls echo. You read, write, or sit with other Vestals. Friendships form, but loyalty is complicated. If one of you breaks a rule, the entire group suffers. privileges few Roman men enjoyed. You reach the middle of your service, and suddenly Rome treats you like a legal cheat code. Most women in the city live under a male guardian called a tutor. You do not. The moment the Pontifex Maximus grabbed your hand during Captio, you became legally independent. You can own property, manage money, and sign contracts without asking a man for permission. That alone makes half the forum grind their teeth. You receive a stipend from the state. Records show regular public funding for the Vestals, plus gifts from wealthy families who want good favor with Vesta. Land, slaves, jewelry, and cash flow your way. Some former Vestals retire with serious wealth. One inscription notes a Vestal who owned estates outside Rome. Not bad for someone who started as a scared child in sandals. You can make a will. Roman women usually need approval for that. You do not. You control who gets your money, your property, and your slaves when you die or retire. People start being very polite. Your legal status also grants you escorts called lictors. They carry rods as symbols of authority. Only top officials have them. When you move through the streets, lictors clear your path. Men step aside. Even powerful magistrates yield space. This drives some politicians mad, but the rule stands. The state believes your body is tied to Rome's safety. Your testimony in court is special. You do not give the standard oath. Your word is considered pure by default. Judges trust you more than senators. That is both flattering and risky. If you support the wrong side in a legal dispute, enemies remember. Harming you is a capital crime. If someone injures or insults you in public, they can face death. Rome protects Vestals like rare artifacts. That makes walking through crowded streets less stressful. But it also turns you into a target for political attacks behind closed doors. You also gain funeral rights that shock outsiders. You may be buried within the city walls. Roman law normally bans burials inside Rome to avoid pollution. Vestals are the exception. The city claims you bring purity, not danger. The terrifying cost of failure. The fire looks peaceful, but it is a trap. Rome ties your entire worth to that flame. If it dies, everyone assumes the gods are angry. They do not blame bad weather or lazy guards. They blame you. Records mention Vestal Aemilia in the 3rd century BCE. The fire went out on her watch. She claimed a servant let it fail. The Pontifex Maximus did not care. She was beaten in secret. Lesson learned: never let the torch drop. Punishments happen privately. The public must never see a holy woman harmed. Rome loves the idea that Vestals stay pure, even when they are getting hit with rods in a dark room. The Pontifex Maximus performs the punishment. He covers his eyes or delivers the blows in darkness to preserve symbolic modesty. This rule is absurd, but Rome insists on it. Minor mistakes bring correction. Wrong words in a ritual. Improper clothing. Breaking rules about movement or speech. You face discipline fast. The order believes that small errors lead to divine chaos. You grow up terrified of slipping on a step. The worst crime is breaking the vow of chastity. Rome treats this not as personal failure, but as a national threat. The virginity of the Vestals is linked to the safety of the state. If you sleep with someone, people believe the gods will abandon Rome. Floods, earthquakes, enemy attacks, crop failure, you name it. All blamed on your private life. No pressure. The punishment is live burial. This is not rumor. It is recorded many times. A condemned Vestal is led to the Campus Celeratus, the field of wickedness, near the Colline Gate. She walks in silence, escorted by priests and officials. Her veil covers her face. The city watches like it is a grim public holiday. She enters a small underground chamber. It contains a couch, a lamp, a bit of food, and water. Rome gives these items to avoid directly killing her. The state claims she dies on her own. Everyone knows the truth. The chamber is sealed. She suffocates. Surviving politics, plots, and omens. You thought the worst danger was tripping on temple steps. Then you meet Roman politics. Now the fire looks friendly. Senators do not. When Rome hits a crisis, someone must take the blame. Flood, famine, military defeat, strange births, lightning strikes temples. Priests call these prodigies. The Senate orders rituals to fix them. Sometimes that means extra sacrifices. Sometimes that means a Vestal trial. You can guess which one gets more attention. You know the history. In 114 and 113 BCE, 3 Vestals were accused of breaking their vow: Aemilia, Licinia, and Marcia. At first, the regular priestly court acquitted some of them. The public screamed corruption. The Senate called in Lucius Cassius Longinus Revia, a stern special investigator. The result was brutal. More trials, convictions, executions. Moral panic looks the same in every century. Under Emperor Domitian in the 1st century CE, it got worse. He loved public virtue speeches and private cruelty. He put several Vestals on trial, including a chief Vestal named Cornelia. She claimed innocence. Ancient sources say she was still buried alive. Her reported words to Domitian were sharp. She said she was being killed not for unchastity, but because the emperor wanted it. Rome remembered that line. You see the pattern. When emperors feel insecure, Vestals become convenient targets. Accuse a sacred woman of impurity. Stage a dramatic trial. Announce that the gods are angry at sin, not at incompetent rulers. The crowd loves a clean story. You learn survival skills that have nothing to do with firewood. You stay polite with every political faction. You accept gifts, but not too many from one side. You avoid private meetings. You watch what you say in public. That joke about grain prices might show up later in a senator's angry speech. Priests track omens with obsession. Bad harvest. Eclipse. Statue falls. Earth tremor. Someone always whispers, "Have the Vestals stayed pure?" You do not control earthquakes, but you still get nervous every time the ground moves. Your safest posture is stillness. Calm voice. Careful words. Neutral face in public, even when senators are screaming at each other in the forum outside your door. Aging into power and control. Time moves fast when you live on a schedule. You started as a scared kid with a bowl of flour. Now you are one of the senior Vestals. Your hair has more pins than patience. Your job has shifted from doing everything to making sure everything gets done. The 30-year service plan is simple. 10 years learning, 10 years doing, 10 years teaching. You are now deep in the teaching phase. You no longer stand every cold night by the fire. Younger Vestals do that. You supervise. You check their work, correct their posture, and fix their wording before they embarrass Rome in front of the gods. You manage the rotation for flame duty, cleaning, festival prep, and errands. It feels like running a very tense shift schedule in a very holy factory. You decide who sleeps when, who stands where, and who gets the joy of dealing with the Pontifex Maximus at sunrise. Rank finally means something. Your authority reaches beyond the temple walls. When new girls arrive, their entire education goes through you and the other seniors. You teach them how to walk in public without tripping, how to keep calm when senators stare, how to stay silent when rumors swirl about politics, war, or scandals. You are not just a priestess. You are a survival coach. You also become the memory of the house. You remember past omens, past punishments, which emperors were dangerous, which senators are dramatic, and which priests are useful. That knowledge is not written in any official record. It stays in conversations by the courtyard pool. After evening rituals, when the younger Vestals ask quiet questions they will never repeat in public. Your body starts to feel the years. Knees complain on stone stairs. Long ceremonies weigh on your back and neck. You still wear the same symbolic hairstyle, but hairpins dig deeper. Rome has no retirement plan for pain. You get through rituals with experience and stubbornness. You have lived most of your life under these rules. At this point, the vow feels less like a promise and more like your basic operating system. You are no longer just serving the cult of Vesta. You are its backbone, its memory, and, if things go wrong, its last defense. Freedom, marriage, and quiet power. 30 years end with a simple fact. Your contract is done. You served Vesta for 3 decades. You kept the fire alive. You survived politics, omens, and inspections. Now the law says you can walk away. No ritual chains. No 1 more year extension. You are free. On paper, the Pontifex Maximus releases you from your vow. This is a formal act. You are no longer bound to chastity by the state. Your legal status stays strong. You keep your property, your right to make contracts, your ability to manage money. Unlike most Roman women, you do not slide back under a male guardian. That door stays shut. Now everyone brings up marriage. Romans love theories about retired Vestals. Some sources claim many refuse to marry. Others mention men begging to marry them because they are seen as lucky and pure. One tradition says a retired Vestal named Licinia married a consul. Another report claims suitors line up because your wealth and status look very attractive. You get to decide. That is the strange part. You can marry a senator or a rich equestrian. You can also stay single and manage your estates. In a society where most women's lives are mapped by fathers and husbands, this level of choice feels unreal. If you choose not to marry, you can live quietly in a house of your own or remain near the Atrium Vestae as an informal elder. You do not run rituals anymore, but people still bow when you pass. Once a sacred symbol, always a sacred symbol, You carry memories no one else has. Which emperor lied during sacrifices? Which general trembled before battle? Which priest panicked when thunder hit the wrong hill? None of this appears in marble inscriptions. It lives in your head. Your life started as a child, taken from a crowd. It ends with something rare in ancient Rome. You are a woman with money, legal power, and survival stories. The fire belongs to younger hands now, but part of Rome's spine still walks around inside your skin.